Nico, it's great to speak to you. Just as we build up to the start of a brand new season of a brand new sport, Extreme E. So first of all, if you could just take us back to when was the first time that you found out about Extreme E? What were your initial impressions of it, and how have we got to where we are now, forming your own team and now building up to that first race?
Well, I'm an early investor in Formula E, and Extreme E, of course, is founded also by the founder of Formula E. It's his new baby, this. And so therefore I did get wind of this very, very early. And Alejandro Agagi was like, hey, Nico, you should join in this. This is going to be exciting. We're going to go around the world. We're going to raise awareness for climate change and these exciting locations, beautiful locations. And so, of course, it really got my attention because sustainability as an entrepreneur, I'm fully dedicated to that. And so here was the opportunity to cross over my two passions of sustainability and racing. And therefore, here I am today with Rosberg X Racing.
What's it like when it's a completely new sport, first ever season, you're going to some incredible places, and it really does hit at the heart of what you're about as well, sustainability. I mean, this must be something really quite unique and special to you.
Well, it's thrilling, but at the same time also quite intense because there's so many curveballs that get thrown at you. And of course also, I mean, starting to create all these partnerships, because we as a team also, we have a driven by purpose campaign. So in each location where we go, we want to leave it in a better state than when we arrive. So we really create like big supporting initiatives, like at the test in Spain. We work with Life Terra to plant loads of trees to help them in their fight against deforestation. Senegal, we're working with the Prince Albert II of Monaco Foundation, again in the fight against drought. The locals are really struggling with droughts there in Senegal, and that takes a lot of work. So I have my own sustainability team, and they're really supporting and trying to get these initiatives up and running, and at the same time winning the championship. I mean, we want to win races, so operationally to get everything together, to hire the right drivers. I mean, I was working nights on end to try and get the best female rally driver in the world, being Molly Taylor, because she was in Australia. So there were so many other teams involved in speaking to her. So that was like quite intense. So it's quite thrilling.
Okay, let's talk about the drivers then. Seeing as you mentioned Molly Taylor, how did you find her? How did you get it over the line?
Quite an interesting one. I mean, I don't naturally have the network in rally sports, so I had to start digging into that world. And for example, even then reach out to Sébastien Ogier and just speak to him, you know, what kind of engineer do you think I should be getting? What kind of driver? And more, I always heard the name Molly Taylor from everybody. And so then what I did was mollytaylor.com. And then at the bottom somewhere it says, contact me. So I said, dear Molly, I'm Nico Rosberg, and I would like you to drive for my team. And then she wrote back straight away, and we got talking, and then we came to an agreement a couple of days after that. So that was pretty cool.
See, Nico, you know this. It could have been someone pretending to be Nico Rosberg, but it was the real Nico Rosberg. You probably thought it was a hoax, I would imagine. I'm glad that it wasn't. What about Johan?
This is the beauty of this sport, how it's allowing women as well to be on equal terms with men. Because as you know, equality is one of the biggest parts of sustainability in this sport. And so each team has to have a female and a male driver. And that's so powerful. I mean, with like 5 teams wanting Molly now and things like that, it was so empowering for her as well. And that was wonderful to see.
And you know, she's been really well supported by Johan, and the other way around as well. It's a really kind of mutual thing. So Johan Kristoffersen is your other driver. Tell us how you managed to get hold of him.
Johan was a direct message on Instagram, and then he was with his kid, I think, on his lap having dinner, and we had a first quick conversation. And then it went from one thing to the next. I mean, he's the GOAT, the greatest of all time in World Rallycross. So also he is like perfectly suited for this project, and therefore I'm really excited about our driver lineup.
What's your Nico Rosberg management style? Do you like to get involved? Do you like to offer your insights, or would you rather they come to you whenever they need to?
Management style. I mean, I try to implement quite a lot of structure, which is not easy. Definitely also wish to try to empower people, even if sometimes it's difficult for me because I have very high expectations and sometimes I catch myself going too much in the details. So it's something that I keep on needing to work on, but definitely would like to continue empowering people to really take responsibility, you know, in their roles. And then, I mean, where I'm best really is surely in managing the drivers, because I've been a driver myself, and I know exactly what I like to see from a team boss and what I hated to see. And the most important thing there is to keep giving the drivers their confidence. Never take the confidence away. Never show that you doubt their abilities or you doubt what they're doing out there. Just very constructively approach, like, is there anything we can do to support you, to improve? But never doubt them, and even if you do, never show it to them. So that's something I do very well.
You mentioned the gender equality pillar in Xtreme. It's one of the most important and unique elements of it. How much of a statement is this making to the world and to other sports that we really should be on a level playing field here, men and women?
It's a big problem in our world. Racism, men and women not being on a level playing field, it's a huge problem. And therefore, for us as a sport to position ourselves there and to create this level playing field, I think is an incredibly powerful message. And it's bang on. It's bang on the timing as well at the moment. I mean, now is the time. We have to finally make this change everywhere across the world in all the industries. And so I'm very proud to be a part of this as a result of that. But not only that, also to have this social cause as the foundation of the sport. That is like so powerful, because I would love, I mean, sport, it can be such a great vehicle to drive this positive change. And I would love to see, I mean, all the sporting organizations around the world embrace this kind of direction. I mean, if it's the Euro Cup coming up for soccer, or if it's the Olympic Games, or a team like Chelsea in the Premier League, everybody should embrace purpose in this way in sports, because millions of people following. I mean, 24 of the 25 biggest TV broadcasts of all time have been sports. So the power of sports is there. Let's use it.
Totally agree. And of course, if you can empower your legions of followers, millions, billions of fans who are watching your sport, that's when you make meaningful change, right? That's when you change mindsets and behaviors. And to that point, Xtreme have buddied up with Count Us In to try and do exactly that and encourage people to take little steps. Just give us an idea, a few examples of little steps you've taken, Nico, in your life. You're obviously, you know, a bit of a beacon example for sustainability, but what are a few little things that people can do to try and make their own contribution?
Yes, thank you for mentioning Count Us In. So this is an initiative started by Cristiano Figueres, who, of course, instigated the famous Paris Agreement, where 189 countries have come together to agree on a roadmap to finally become emission-free and reach that 1.5 maximum Earth's warming target. Because beyond that, I mean, it would have severe consequences. Okay, and so she's created this countusin.org, which is really a community where each of us can sign up to, and each of us can do our small part by pledging a couple of steps. For example, going electric car. I mean, buying an electric car or driving electric cars, going more plant-based, reducing plastic significantly in our lives. So I have eliminated plastic from our offices, for example. What was the last one? Oh, and cycling and walking a lot more. Yeah, and the goal is to have 20 million people sign up this year again. And each of us do then 3 steps or something, which is like 60 million steps, which would reduce the CO2 emissions this year by 5 billion kilograms. So it's like massive as a community, you know. But not only that, raise awareness for the opportunities we all have as individuals towards governments. So it's a very powerful initiative, and I've been an ambassador for a long time now.
Let's talk about the vehicle in Xtreme, the Odyssey 21. What are your impressions of it, Nico?
So Odyssey 21 is the car, which you can see right behind me. Everybody has the same car, 700 horsepower, fully electric, of course, off-road buggy. And I mean, all the drivers have had a fantastic time driving it. And I'm sure that we're going to see exciting motor racing. And that's what it needs to be, because the excitement, again, is going to be the vehicle to drive positive change. And so, yeah, I'm really thrilled to get going in a couple of weeks. The first race is happening in Saudi, in the desert there. And let's hit the ground running. I mean, I hope that we can fight for wins as a team, and I'm confident.
There's a difference here between this and, say, Formula One, because you've got limited time once you're at the location itself, in the car. And whilst you're in between races, the car's on a ship. It's on the St. Helena going to the next venue, another way of reducing the carbon footprint of the entire competition. So how much will this be down to driver talent, and also the ability to adapt to a new terrain very quickly, because you're going over so many different varied ones?
Yeah, you're very right. I mean, driver talent is going to be a key ingredient, particularly in the first year where the technical regulations are quite restrained. That's why I'm confident, because we have a fantastic driver lineup in Molly Taylor and Johan Kristoffersen. But let's not make a mistake, because we're also up against Jenson Button, my old rival from F1. We're up against the greatest off-roader of all time, being Sebastian Loeb. So it's gonna be, I mean, it's gonna be so interesting to see who comes out on top. But make no mistake, we're not up for coming second. I mean, we're in this to win.
And what about all the different locations? Hopefully you'll be able to get out to at least some of them, Nico. Out of all the different terrains and incredible places that this series is going to visit, which one really jumps off the page for you that is so exciting to look forward to?
Well, it's racing at the glacier in Greenland. I mean, there's never been a motor race up there, and it's on my bucket list to visit Greenland and again to see the effects of climate change there, or how the glaciers are melting over there. Because as we know also that is going to be one of the big threats as well with rising sea levels. So that's on my bucket list, and going there is going to be spectacular. I think it's going to be an unbelievable experience.